Are these parts enough to make a 3D3 make 450 horsepower? We're gonna find out.
Near Montreal, where Nick's garage is located, people wait a long, long time for spring. When the streets are finally dry, they can't wait to get their old cars out of storage and back on the road. More often than not, around here, the first place they come is Nick's garage. It isn't unusual to find rare and beautiful pieces of American automotive history parked outside the shop, and today is no exception.
And look what we've got here this week. Client of mine's brought in a very special car. 1976 Buick Century Free Spirit. Actually, it's an official pace car, 1976. It's a rare car. They made roughly 1,200 cars of this kind. And it's only got 20,000 miles. As you can see, all these graphics, they call it a Free Spirit. Of course, he's missing the decals over here that say official pace car, which my client's trying to track down at the moment. I'm gonna take it for a little ride. This is a Survivor. It's very clean. It's an automatic. It's beautiful. I'm gonna take it for a drive for you viewers to enjoy the ride with me here on this car. They only came in for a little coolant leak. Doesn't matter, we're gonna check it later. But in the meantime, I just want to take it for a ride, for you viewers to enjoy this ride, of course.
As well as being the year that Montreal hosted the Olympic Games, 1976 was the bicentennial of the American Declaration of Independence. To celebrate, GM released this special edition of their third-generation Buick Century.
And the cars that were sold to the public were the V8 350 cubic inch. But the cars they built for the pace cars on the track were the V6 model. This is a true American car with the Eagle, American Eagle, Free Spirit. And there you have it. I worked for Buick back in 1976 till 1980. And only one of these has gone through my hands. Only one of these. So that's pretty rare. Now, could this be the car? I'm not sure. I know that at the time when I worked at the dealership, the car was sold in Quebec. Could this be the one? Who knows? This is now, we're talking back 40 plus years. Doesn't matter. Let's take it for a joyride. Choke works. It's got an 8-track. And we're gonna go for a little ride. This is a beautiful car. Look at this. It only came in for a little coolant leak. We'll take care of it later. But I also hear the alternator whining a bit with the bearing, I believe. But anyways, doesn't matter. Let's go for a ride. Look at this console. Beautiful, really nice. So quiet, all original, unmolested. The way they came from the factory. Go for a ride. And then isn't this unique? Wow. Super quiet. It has the original exhaust. Practically everything's original in this car. I don't think this car's ever tampered with. It was in storage for many, many years. So someone got it started, put it out for sale. One of my clients bought it last week. He gave it a little cleanup and he brought it to me to take a look at it and fix the coolant leak, whatever it was, whatever it is, which we haven't checked yet anyways, doesn't matter. But in the meantime, I want to take it for a drive for you viewers to enjoy this ride. Look at that. This brings back memories when I used to work at the dealership back in 1976. Wow, man, 40 plus years. I remember these cars. Man, this is a beautiful ride. This is a nice cruiser, let me tell you. So smooth, so quiet, no rattles. It's got T-tops. Free Spirit of America. Go back 200 years with the USA, with the American Eagle. And there you have it. Well, let's go for a little ride down the street. You left me a full tank of gas. Not bad. I could take it for a long ride, I guess. I gotta admit, this is one beautiful ride. Man, this car sure brings back some memories. 40 plus years when I used to work at the dealership. Buick, Pontiac, Cadillac. What an awesome ride. Can't wait to take it for another ride. Here we go. Like I said, they only made roughly 1,200 cars. So if you have one of these that needs restoration, you better have deep pockets because they don't sell any parts for this from what I know. I haven't done my homework yet, but then again, I've gone through a lot of sites for restoration and I've never seen anything on the Free Spirit Buick 1976. Besides that, look at this one. It's all here. So if only my client could catch the, get the decals, official pace car, put them on the lower side of the doors, and he's all done. Look at this, only 20,000 miles. Very clean car, very clean car. I had it up on the lift last week. Super clean. Really nice, very nice. This is a beautiful ride. Well, anyways, there you have it, folks. Buick Century, Free Spirit. This is one beautiful ride. There you have it, folks. The Free Spirit of America, 1976 Buick Century with a V8 350 Buick motor. 20,000 miles. Is this beautiful or what? 8-track, AM, FM, AC. You name it, it's got it. And my client gifted me the ticket for the ride, keep it for the week. Very nice of him. Of course, Nate, take it. I filled up the tank with the full tank, filled up the tank with fuel, and he says, Nick, keep it for a week and enjoy it, which I might do. I'll take up on his offer. Let's take a look at the engine compartment. Talk about all originality, let's take a look. There it is, all genuine. The only thing I believe this customer has replaced, or should I say the previous owner, was a battery. Oh yeah, I remember these days, working on these cars. Simple 350, carburetor, 4-barrel Rochester, exhaust manifolds, all there. Power brakes, power steering, AC, HEI ignition. What more can you ask for? It's all there. There you have it, folks. Buick Century, 1976, Free Spirit. Happy birthday, USA, 200 years later, 1976. Isn't that something, eh? A true survivor. Here it is. That's what you call a survivor. Unmolested. Oh yeah, makes me feel young again. When I used to work back at the dealership in Buick back in 1976. I worked there for 5 years. Maybe I worked on this car 40 plus years. I'm not so sure. Was it mine? The one I did? Don't know. And I worked 5 years at the dealership and I never missed a day of work. I used to do a lot of these engines. Chevy, Buick, Cadillac, Pontiac. I've done them all. That was my specialty at the dealership. And right now I'm just looking at it and enjoying the ride.
But not all of the cars that come to Nick's shop are this pretty.
Got here the Mad Max. Christian took it out for a ride. Beautiful day to take it for a test drive. He wants me to look for a certain noise in the engine compartment when you accelerate. So let's take a little ride and see how it goes. Okay, let's see if the electric blower works. It is. Awesome. It's the way we designed it, just like in the movie Mad Max. Here we go, let's go for a ride. I guess we're gonna make a U-turn and go up the street. Find a noise when you accelerate, so let's go around the block and see how it goes. Okay, let's try it out. I don't hear anything yet. Let's go for a few more miles and see what it does. Here we go. Let's go again. This is insane. Everybody looks at you when you're driving around with this Mad Max car from Christian. Got a lot of lookers on it when you drive in traffic, let me tell you. We built this engine 2 years ago. It's a 351 Cleveland. Not much of a modification. Just a nice driver. I don't hear anything yet. I don't hear anything, but I'm going to go around the block again and try it. A lot of traffic here today. Well, let's go around the block one more time. I don't hear anything. Christian, I don't hear anything. Sounds like a... No, it's not a lifter, no. It's not. It might be. It sounds like a little exhaust leak on that side on the bottom. That's the only thing I can think of. But it's not internal. It's not in the motor. No, it's not in the motor. The only thing I think, it's not on this side, it's on the other side, it's on the bottom. Okay. You know what I gotta do? Yeah, it's the only thing. Like the only thing I can think of is a little exhaust leak.
It's not a lifter, that's all I was worried about.
No, it's not. It's not. Let me just accelerate it a little bit. It's like a little ticky noise, eh?
Yeah, that's what, yeah, it's exactly that.
It sounds like an exhaust. It's under there. Yeah, see? That's what it sounds like. You don't hear it?
There's the ticket.
Where do you hear it? There or there? I don't hear it there. I hear it underneath.
Here underneath, yeah.
But very little. I mean, when I drove it, I couldn't hear it. I hear it more when it's idling. I pushed it hard. I also went cruising.
I hear the exhaust.
No, no,
The
not there,
exhaust,
not
yeah.
there, not there. In this area. See, this is right there. I'm gonna ask Vasily to check your joints, okay? The pipe going up to the manifold, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Okay, I'll bring it in. Okay, we're gonna check the pipes that go up to the exhaust manifold to see if they have a good connection or if the gasket is blown or if the bolts are loose. I'll bring it in. Vasily's gonna take a look at it. We'll see what happens. Here we go. Vasily, do you hear an exhaust leak on the pipe going to the manifold? Aku, listen. You know what, Vasily? Pick it up and make sure the bolts are tight. Pipe going up to the manifold. That's it. Okay. Okay, check it out, buddy. Okay, here we go. Vasily's gonna look at it. In the meantime, I got something rare for you folks to see. Some of you viewers asking if we're ever gonna build a 3D3 and put it on the dynamometer. Well, you know what? Buck, one of my clients, just sent in a 3D3 that he wants to get built up to 450 horsepower. A 3D3. Okay, so I've done many 440s with 450 horsepower, but John here wants a 3D3 to make the same horsepower. And this was an article that he found in the Hard Rod magazine that they built the same engine, I don't know, many years back, and they got around 450 HP on it. And our goal is to do the same thing. So I've ordered the same pistons, the same heads that he has, the 906 castings with a simple valve job, zero deck with the pistons that I've ordered are the same ones used in the Hard Rod magazine, same cam, same lockers, hydraulic flat tappet lifter, and then we're gonna put it all together. And then of course the most important thing, we're gonna put on dynamometer and see what we can get. This is gonna be pretty interesting to see. 450 horsepower out of a 3D3. Well, I've never done one of those, but I'd like to try this one. He showed me the article on Hard Rod magazine. I went through it. It was a 3D3, 30 oversized. They had flat top pistons. And he told me this is the cam they used. This is the pistons they used. It was zero decked. They used an M1 intake. We don't have that yet, but we're gonna look for it. They went with the 750 Harley, and they produced 450 horsepower on their dynamometer. So our goal is to do the same thing. I was here on Saturday doing a valve job on the set of heads for Buck. There they are. I assembled did the valve job. I put all new exhaust valves I did not plane the heads whatsoever. We're gonna go with the 20,000 head gasket. I installed these springs, did the valve job, Vitan seals, and the heads are ready. So let's get the short block done and put it together. And let's see if we're gonna make that 450 HP. According to the installed height, I got a lot of pressure on with the double springs, especially for a flat tappet cam. So I'm gonna break in the cam with the single spring on the exhaust and a double spring on the intake, which is okay because I'm holding the 130 pressure and the on the low on valve closed. But anyways, we're gonna get it running on the dynamometer. We're gonna break in the cam, then I'm gonna remove all the valve springs on the exhaust, put in the inner spring, and then we're gonna start testing it from there. I finished doing the valve job. I cleaned the chambers, I did the valve guides, I machined the valve guides for the double springs, which we used Vitan seals. So you can look deep inside, you can see the blue right in there, like so. I've got the cam for the 383, which is right here. There's the part number, this is the one we're using. I've got his timing chain, got his lifters. We are gonna go with the Torker intake that we have at the moment, that he just bought off of someone. I've got the cylinder heads ready. I'm just waiting for the pistons and the rings to come in so I can see if it needs to be bored out, honed out, or whatever at 30 over. And zero deck the block and start putting it together, and can't wait to get on the dynamometer to see what it really can do. You know what, they said they made 450 on a hot rod when they built this engine. And we are here we are years later doing the same thing. That's what my client wants. That's exactly what we're gonna do. We're just gonna copy it. We don't have the M1 intake, we got a Torker intake instead. Probably won't be as much powerful as the M1, but doesn't matter. We're gonna use this and take it from there. You know, we say sometimes stock rocks. Yeah, it does. But you know, like I was saying, when you put a package together, it depends what you're building. Some people want to make a lot of horsepower. Like this, for example, this 383. It's got a radical cam. It's not gonna have power brakes, but then again, that's his goal. That's what he wants. So we're gonna make this package for him. That's what he wants. And there's nothing wrong with that because it's an off-road vehicle. And for that reason, it's all good. Nothing wrong with modifying cars. Some vehicles are off-road. Some people have their own personal taste. I understand that. You know, I do say that stock rocks. I like a lot of things that are original. I build a lot of original cars. Some cars are very rare that I prefer you keep them original. Like that Buick Free Spirit outside. That's a rare car. There are only roughly 1,200 cars made. Now, why would you want to go put a blower on that, or headers, or make it a low rider, whatever? Keep it that way. It's all simple. Then you have other guys that build their Jeeps. They raise them. You have other guys that build cars with the ground. Everybody has a personal preference. But then again, what counts is how you put the package together. And that way, you can drive it and have no problems whatsoever. In this 383, we're building that hopefully makes 450 horsepower like hot rod designed. Well, you know what? It's not an everyday driver. It's somebody who's going to drive it off-road, race it, and whatever. It's not going to have power brakes with that kind of a cam, but it doesn't matter. That's what he wants. That's what we're going to build him.
You can tell that Nick is looking forward to the 383 build-up and dyno test. But that's just one of the many, many projects that he has in the shop right now.
I've got the Hemi I'm working on for Frank from Wakefield, Massachusetts. I've got his oil pan. I got the windshield tray that he was missing. I've got the water pump installed. I just want to paint the short block assembly. I want to start assembling cylinder heads. I've got the valves. I've got the valve springs. I got the keepers. I got the locks. And I'm ready for assembly. I had another client who brought in a V6 turbo. I've got a Buick Century Free Spirit outside. And here I've got another V6 Buick with a turbo to be assembled as a short block. Here we go. One Buick after another. All he asked me was to assemble the crank, the short block assembly, rods, pistons, rings, and of course the crank bearings. The little V6, haven't seen one of those in a long time here in my shop. He's brought me the parts, which are right here, and that's it. And we won't see no dynamometer or anything like that. It's just a short block assembly for my client. He's brought it in so I can install the rods, pistons, the rings, measure the clearance on the crank. That's all. He just wanted to make sure that the short block gets assembled correctly, and that's all I'm gonna do. I'd like to tell you what I got under here, but this is all top secret. I can't say what it is. And you don't know what's going to come through the door next. And you guys, if you look down below the video, we have a whole bunch of merchandise that you guys can buy. So whatever you like, buy it, love it, wear it, and enjoy it. And help spread the word of Nick's Garage. And if you have some time, check out our Patreon page. We have extra content and you guys can watch it and take it from there. And we'll see you next time.